The
Welcome back.
yeah, I'm rocking my signed Carolina Hurricanes jersey and hat because they just won their playoff game that just ended.
What was that the game that you went to see? What
No,
game
I
were
went and
you at?
saw the Golden Knights,
Oh,
which is the
nice.
Vegas team. Their game starts like right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Uh, but actually, this jersey, it's pretty cool how I got this. It's signed by the whole team from forget which year. I have a certificate that's like says this is official. Like these are all legit signatures. But I went to a alumni game, which is just like they bring a lot of the older players and some like people pay like give money to charity, and then they get to also play in the game.
hmm
Usually only a couple thousand people go to it, but they do this event called the Chuck a Puck at it. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Have you ever been to a hockey game and seen that?
Chuck a puck? I imagine it's throwing a puck trying to get it somewhere.
Yeah, so you go up to they have tables around the arena and they usually do it like near the end of whatever the event is, but you buy I paid like $10 and I got 3 pucks, like little rubber hockey pucks.
Nice.
And there's like a certain time and they're just like, "All right, everybody throw." And everybody just throws their pucks and tries to whoever's is the closest to the center circle in the ice is the one who wins the prize and I fucking landed it right in the center circle
Dude, that's sick.
and I won this jersey and free tickets to a game, and I got to meet the players when we went to the game. It was pretty cool.
Dude, that sounds awesome. VIP
Definitely,
treatment.
probably the best like throw I've ever done in my entire life. I would say of something.
Surely there's got to be a rocket Seuss that was incredible.
I actually already know my second best one. I wish Ben was on because he could verify this. We were in Raleigh. Anybody from Raleigh who knows Mitch's Tavern, you're a real local if you know that one. But it's a restaurant. Oh shit! It's a restaurant on the main street of like the NC State campus, and it was 4:20, and we were having lunch up on the like balcony table there, and I had a pickle left over from my meal, and I was like, "Oh, I bet I can." Jokingly, I bet I could throw this into the trash can, which is like we're on top of this balcony. And there's like two streets down below us, and then a trash can next to a bus stop, like all the way across all these streets. And I'm
Yeah.
Ben and his girlfriend at the time, and we were like, "Yeah, okay, you should go for it." And so I'm like, "I'm gonna do it," and I threw it, fucking made it in the trash can. That was definitely my second best throw ever.
That's fucking sick.
Oh, it was amazing. I can't
Fuck
think
yeah.
of other than that. Yeah, I'm sure I had some cool like throwing the rock in the billy at Seuss.
Yeah.
But that was a fun time waster at Seuss.
Dude, fucking throwing shit is a cool skill. I spent some time getting good at throwing shit and
Yeah, and I
like,
have ADHD, so it's like a fidgety thing. It's like
oh
just
yeah,
doing just like even if you're
just
just sitting
tossing,
there, just doing something.
just
Yeah,
tossing something.
the
Yep.
idea of just sitting doing nothing is just torture.
My leg, I'm like kicking my legs up and down as we
Oh yeah,
speak.
anybody who knows me knows I tap my foot while I
Fidget,
sit down. Yeah,
fidget
to the
man.
point I shake tables, and I'm like I often get told, "Hey, dude." And I'm like,
Can
oh,
you
sorry. I
stop?
literally didn't
Yeah.
even I didn't even
Yep.
realize I was doing it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man. So I tried to record a podcast this weekend and fucked up on the audio. I'm
I mean,
gonna try to
you
go
can
through and
definitely
save it.
understand it all, but yeah, you were saying it
There's a
has like an
buzz.
annoying buzz in the back. But I mean, we'll
I'm
definitely
gonna.
put it out. But like, it definitely is there. And like, I think you were
I
onto
got to go
something
through
when
and
you
edit it
said
too.
you were onto something when you said that the chords crossing. I didn't ever.
hmm
That was I think that was a good observation.
That was one of the things that I looked up because I looked up like obviously this is my first time doing this really, or not first time, but one of my first times doing this. I'm so young and naive. Uh, but like, yeah, that was a big one. I think mics picking up each other might be a big one, or like getting cross talk and
Oh yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
cross channels. Because I had everything pretty close.
Oh, do you have Here, let me grab one
Oh,
real
dude,
quick.
do you have the anti-wine plugin? Dude, I wish the camera was just a few inches over and we could see Walker's ass.
But anyway, do you have like it's kind of like this. But it's like a foam thing that goes over the mic.
Oh, no. Mine's just
You
the
should
raw
get some of
dog
those.
mics.
You should get some
Okay.
of those. That's
Okay.
probably that would help a lot with cross mic stuff.
Okay. Yeah. So I need to do that. There's some things I need to do. But also, I think we may be able to edit it out in post. There
I
was some people
That
saying that
Adobe thing, we should.
Audacity.
I think we should try that.
All
Also,
right.
I'm sure there's a function on Audacity that you could
I
use.
saw
There's a
some
lot of
people.
stuff on Audacity.
Yeah. I'm gonna sign in for the Adobe shit right now.
Oh yeah, we've talked about it. I don't know if we've talked about it on this podcast or just privately, but there's this new audio. What is it? Audio software? Is that what you'd say?
Yeah.
You call it
Hey,
editing software?
what's your email real quick? It needs a secondary address. Can you post it in the chat?
Yeah. Do you just want the podcast email or like?
Sure, yeah, that's fine. This just needs a secondary account in case mine gets locked out. And judging by the things I look at, it's gonna get locked out.
There you go. Uh,
Actually, we should probably request one with this well, we'll see. Oh, Jesus. They just sent a code to that email.
all right, I can check it right now.
69
Thrilling stuff, guys. You get to watch.
69.
You get to actually. You don't even get to watch. You get to listen to me check the email.
Dude, it's very cool. We're
I'm
doing
checking it
a
right now. There's a verification code, and
yep.
I'm gonna send that to Scout.
Actually,
What
you
is the
can read it.
verification code?
You
Guess down in the chat if you get it right.
you can
That'd
read
be
it
pretty cool.
out loud and we can make it a race to sign up for this email.
When this comes out a week or two later.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we should definitely do some live podcasts sometime soon.
Yeah, actually, since we're both gonna be in Asheville, we should definitely
We definitely will have
see
to.
who'd be interested in like hanging out. Honestly, just hanging out with some Seuss people and talking about Seuss would be a good one
Yep.
since it's ending.
It'd be pretty cool to do like several Seuss episodes or like a nice long one or something. I don't know. Give it its proper send off.
Yep. Did you
Sorry,
give
I'm
it
signing
send
up.
up
I'm
for
signing up right now.
but anyways, we totally didn't describe what even we're
What
signing
the
up
hell this
for.
thing
We got in
is?
the middle of it. It's a audio editing software that basically like drastically improves the sound of your recording.
It's
That's kind of my
crazy.
understanding. Yeah.
It can like pick up beats in your speech pattern. So if I stop and pause here for a second, it'll show that as a beat on the thing, and then you can have it just edit all that shit out. Or you can like cut out little parts, little things, and it'll just blend it to make it sound like you were just smoothly talking through it. It's pretty insane. And then it like captions it all. There's all kinds of shit it does. It seems pretty neat. Probably
Yeah.
worth
No,
paying for.
it was I was very impressed when I watched a video about it after you told me.
Yeah, I was also kind of shocked. The guy that showed me works for Adobe, so he was like, "You got to check this out." I was like, "Okay, all right, Bash, word, 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 word." And now he started showing me. I was like, "Oh wow, this is helpful. This does a lot."
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah,
Well, I gotta say I don't have anything off
nothing.
prepared.
I got
I
some
mean, I got
stuff
my
on my
list. I
list.
can go to my list. Let me see.
I got some stuff that's kind of topical.
All right, what do you want? What do you you do something?
All right, Starship launch. You know anything about this? Starship?
Was this the SpaceX thing that just
Yep,
happened?
yep. The big fucking rocket that just launched.
Is that what
Did
it's
you?
called? The big fucking rocket? That seems
That's
like
what it.
something that Elon would name a rocket.
That definitely was its name for a long time. It's had
Really?
several names. Yeah, it's been called the ITS Interplanetary Transport System, the BFR, Big Fucking Rocket. Uh, There was another three-letter thing, I think, and now it's Starship. And I think there might have even been another name too. But yeah, it definitely was called the BFR
But
at
yeah,
one
there was a
point.
launch recently. What was the goal of this launch?
So it's mostly just at these early stages, SpaceX is pretty upfront with like, this is a testing launch. They were hoping to get to orbit, but they gauged the chances of it at like 50-50.
Haven't
So,
they done that before though?
so they've gotten smaller rockets up to orbit. This is the
Hmm.
biggest rocket that's ever been built.
Okay, so they
This,
were testing the biggest rocket to try to get it to
yeah,
orbit that's ever been. Oh, okay, I gotcha.
yeah. So let me.
Where do they launch their rockets from?
They launched from Florida, or actually now from Boca Chica, Texas. They also launched
Yeah, it's
some
always
stuff
what,
from
Texas or
Florida.
Florida? Why is it? Is there a reason? Is it just because that's where the bases are, or?
So you can also launch it from California, but the biggest reason is that you launch east because that's the way the Earth spins, and so you get
Hmm,
several hundred extra miles per hour going that way because it's the Earth is going to fling you off as it rotates, you know what I mean?
right.
And so if you launch east, oh, basically anywhere else, you drop a bunch of garbage, not in the Atlantic Ocean, but on like people's homes and shit. Like
Ah, I see, I see. Yeah, because there's a
like the
lot of pieces of rockets that don't ever make it up to space. It's just fuel. It's just holding
yes,
fuel and stuff to
yes.
launch it. Yeah.
Up until SpaceX, like less than 10, probably even 5% of a rocket got to space or got not blown up in the ocean, rather. But now they're like reusing a lot of these rockets. But so yeah,
But
anyways,
anyways,
it
yeah, how'd the
has a
launch go?
it blew up predictably. Um,
Well, I can't.
it
That can't have been the plan.
so again, it's not the plan, but they expect
Knew there
these
was a
things to
good
blow up.
chance that it was
Yes.
gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're testing a whole new rocket. It's never been launched before, and they have developed a methodology where they try to prove technology as quickly as possible at the expense of blowing it up. So, like, I don't know if you remember when I was nerding out when they were first trying to land their Falcon rockets, but
Yeah, I
they,
saw you send a bunch of texts in the group chat.
yeah. So, like, they basically the whole concept of SpaceX is, hey, we can do reusable rocketry and make space travel accessible to normal people to where, like, you can go to space for 500 bucks or whatever. And so the biggest piece of that is reusable rocketry, which they achieved with their Falcon 9, but it took them like uh,
Is that the Falcon 9's the one they just launched, or
no, Starship is the one they just
oh,
launched. So
how much
Falcon
bigger
9,
is it?
let me get a picture of it. Starship versus it's insane how big this is.
What, double
Um,
the size of the next?
more than double.
Really?
Let me.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's. I'm
And
pretty
what's
sure it's
the benefit of that is just that they can take more stuff in a launch, or
yes, way
oh,
more stuff and bigger stuff too. Because one of the biggest things. Okay, so
screenception.
oh, is it showing? It's showing the wrong screen. My bad.
It's showing us a million
Yeah.
times. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Cool. So this is a person.
Ha!
That's a little
Average.
tiny new ship. This is the Soyuz, which is the rocket that the
Yeah,
Russians
yeah,
use.
I've heard of
Yeah.
that.
This is the Falcon 9. This is the Saturn V, which is up till now the largest rocket. And this is the SLS, which is the current NASA rocket, and that's the Starship.
See, the SLS is the one that I comes to mind when I think of like they've been using that for a while, haven't they?
No, they're actually just testing it now. They
Oh,
haven't launched
really?
it at all
Huh.
yet. Yeah. So you're probably thinking of the
But most of
Atlas.
those are fuel storage still, right? Like,
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so the only ships that are being reused are the SpaceX ones. And then the New Shepard one is a hopeful, but it's not actually flying yet. Well, I think the suborbital one is flying, but the New Shepard actual orbital model isn't. But anyways, I digress. So they shot it up, and it had actually a really cool failure. It looked like it started. So a big part of what these rockets have to do is boost back. So they're flying this way over the Earth, right, in orbit. And they've got to, while they're flying that way, boost backwards and then initiate a burn that gets them back going the other way and then come down and land. And so I think, and I haven't read like the after action report or anything that they publish,
But
but
they
I
want to get
think,
it like to orbit and then bring it back. It's like
yes.
okay.
So they want to get the top part to orbit and then the bottom part, the booster, back to base so they can refuel it and reuse it. And then the
Oh,
top
so
part
they
goes to
were trying
orbit.
to leave. They were trying to leave the top part in orbit.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, at least at first, they probably would have brought it back down if the mission was fully successful. Because the goal is for the whole thing to be fully reusable. And they have re landed the top part, but not from orbit. So
I
they were.
heard, yeah, I mean, my brief reading about it was that it was like a
Hmm.
successful failure, I guess.
Say that
Like
again?
a
Sorry.
successful failure.
It
Just
gave them a
because,
lot of
like,
data.
even though they
Yeah.
failed, like, yeah, it helps for future stuff.
And that's the thing with SpaceX is because they're launching rockets unmanned, they're pretty willing to blow them up and like say like, yeah, we're gonna ruin our reputation and blow up rockets just for fun so we can fucking get the data and figure out how to do this right. And so far it's been working. They have a pretty high success rate on the missions that count, I guess, if that makes sense.
Did you did you hear that they just announced there's 4 astronauts they're sending to the moon pretty
No, I
recently?
didn't.
Actually,
No, I
one of
haven't.
them is I think two of them are women, and one of them was an NC State alumni.
Really? That's fucking
Yeah.
sick.
Um, but yeah, they had. I'm surprised you didn't hear about that. Um,
No, I'll have to look it up,
I
honestly. That
definitely
sounds pretty
watched like a
cool.
news clip of. Let me look it up. Let's see, NASA.
When are they going? Did they say?
Uh, has anybody else been to the moon? Oh, well, I looked up astronauts to the moon, and the first thing that came up, China to land astronauts on the moon by 2030.
Sick,
Um,
I guess, kinda.
Artemis 2 is the mission from the U.S.
Yeah, the Artemis missions are the one that
Oh, they're
use
sending them
SLS.
later next year.
Oh shit! To the
Yeah, so
moon
it's
or
pretty
just to
soon.
orbit it? To land or orbit?
I think they're going to land on the moon.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, dope. Uh, yeah, that's pretty cool. I, for one, am very excited for the space renaissance. Makes me happy in my heart.
Yeah, I'm not that excited about it.
Yeah,
I don't,
I think we
I
should
have a
have this debate
pretty, I
live
mean, we
sometime.
can. I don't think that space travel and like spending money on it's that big of a deal or like that important.
Yeah, I don't see it as a zero sum game. I think we waste money on a lot more bullshit that we could cut before space travel. Space travel provides us a lot for the amount of money we give it.
I think I would definitely agree. I mean, there's certainly things like you could think of that I would say are more wasteful than that, but
Kim
I
Kardashian's
would
ass.
argue that there are a lot of causes that that money could better be going to also. Like just because there are worse things doesn't mean you should do it.
Hmm. Yeah. Like I said, I think we should have this debate sometime. Get like 3 on 3, do a little research. I think that would be fun. I would actually
Yeah.
really
I
like to do
mean,
some
I would
debates.
yeah. I honestly I feel pretty passionately that like it's a waste of time and money to
Hell yeah.
go to space. Like
I, like I say, I would love to sit and like try to debate it like to
yeah.
rules of debate and shit. You know what I mean? Do a proper debate. You've
Yeah.
heard of the like
I
rules
mean,
of debate,
I
right?
just struggle to see any scenario where humans are surviving in space, like especially on any nearby planets. Like they're all extremely hostile. I don't think it would, things have to go perfectly. I don't, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we survive everywhere. Life finds a way,
I
man.
also do not really give a fuck if humanity continues on for the like entirety of the universe.
Right.
That literally
Right,
that
right,
does
right.
not matter at all to me. I don't
Yeah.
think it. I don't feel that important. Like we're that important, or like that needs to happen.
I think that's probably the major crux that you and I differ on
I
because
would, yeah.
I've expressed this before. I feel like it's wrong to take that choice away from somebody else. To be like, well, I don't want to exist, so nobody should exist. To
I
me,
mean, I
that
see
doesn't
how
feel
doing it. I see how doing it is in the interest of us. I don't see how you can argue necessarily doing it is in the interest of every. I don't know.
and we've talked about this so many times. It's funny. Yeah, my response is like, if we don't know that it's not a responsibility, but it's at least our privilege. Like we're allowed to figure it out. Like until we find God who tells us, no, you dumb monkeys, you were supposed to stay on Earth and not fuck around with stuff. It's like, why can't we just
Oh, I mean,
ask?
if there is if there's unknown unexplored shit, humans are going to try to be the first ones to get there and go see it
Right.
and learn about it. That's just yeah,
But do
it's a
you think
human
that's
thing.
human? I
I
think that's a
do,
life
yeah.
thing. I think life does that. Life goes
No, I
everywhere.
definitely think there's lots of examples of life that just like fits into its own niche and just stays there. And
Hmm,
I think humans are definitely an exception to that.
interesting.
Like, I mean, not all animals are like free wandering. Like, a lot of them are territorial and like, you know what I
I
mean?
guess, are we talking long term or short term? Because I think long term is more, I'm talking like life tends to try to spread and grow if it
Well, I think
can.
the main, well, if we're getting into that argument, I would argue the main thing that life is striving for is just to survive. I think that is
Is to bust this nut.
the base of evolution. That would have been a good time for that. The
What
base of
did you
evolution,
say?
like
Ain't nobody got time for that?
that would have been a good time for that joke.
Yeah.
Uh, I think at the
Actually,
base of like instinctual evolution, like just what is the best thing to survive. And I think for certain things, like that results in not, doing what we're doing necessarily, which is like explore the unknown, conquer
that's fair.
everything. Like,
That's fair. In fact,
I mean,
exploring space.
bacteria. Who would bet that humans are going to be around on the Earth longer than bacteria? You know what I mean? Like, there are other
Yeah.
forms of life that like probably are better at surviving than humans are. If you're
Well,
just going from that metric.
okay, I got a couple things. First
Yeah.
of all, as long as humans are around, bacteria will be around because we carry bacteria. So
But yes,
they're
but also
they
they'll
get a
be around
pass. They get
beyond
a
us.
free pass. Well, yeah, because they will be around for sure as long as we are. If we're around, they are for sure
Well,
around.
we're not the only harbors of
Yeah,
bacteria and shit though.
but
Like
I'm saying, you see what I'm saying? How that's a weird
I
argument to
do.
make?
No, I
Because
don't. I
humans
think that
have
actually
to.
I think that strengthens the argument that there are better forms of life that's surviving than humanity. Like,
Okay,
which I would argue is like
but
the ultimate goal of any life form is just to continue.
I would say it's to pass on its genes because you have a lot of instances of species where the male dies or gives up its like whole life just to inseminate and pass on its genes to a female.
Well,
And
why is
so
that important?
to propagate the genetic code, I would say that's like what
For what?
life ultimately strives for. I just because that's
Tell
how
me the
DNA
point
replicates.
of everything, Scout.
Because it's well, ultimately I would say it is that way because that's just how DNA replicates and DNA started replicating.
Stupid
And so the
science bitch
pursuit of
couldn't even
life
make I more smarter. Stupid science bitch couldn't even make I more smarter.
and so I guess I would say that like it's just happens to be the case that that is. And so life kind of just like evolves out of that, you know?
So you think we
Better
should just go?
bacteria.
Let's just keep going with that, is what you're saying.
I mean, it's been what the universe has been doing so far.
Yeah, the
one
living
one
parts
could
of it, at
argue
least.
it's literally what nature is. It is the nature of nature.
Yeah. I'm
I don't
trying to
know.
remember where this part of the argument began because we went off on some tangents.
We went off on some tangents. This is why I think it would be nice to do this as a formal debate and also with like two other
Oh yeah,
people.
it'd
Also,
be
it'd be
nice
cool
to
to
compare more.
switch sides and argue for the opposite side.
No, I have no interest in that.
Really?
I'll just argue in bad faith so that the side I really want to win, which is the side you'd be arguing for, wins.
Would you really?
No, I mean,
I
if you really wanted to do
I
that, I
would
guess we could
I
do
would
that.
kick your ass at the debate so hard and you would lose so bad that you'd feel bad.
But then at least my point would be proven. Like
Well,
the point I really believed.
yeah. I guess that's what's important, Walker, is proving your point. Do you want to be right or have
I
friends?
just want the world to believe what I believe, you know? Everything else is wrong.
If everybody did what I believe, everything would be great.
Yeah.
Doesn't everybody
Yeah!
understand that?
Yeah,
Yeah!
yeah.
So, do we have any other cool topics to talk about?
Uh,
I got a good one.
there's other well, all right, go.
Is it right to give homeless people money for likes and views and subscribes? If we gave some
I
homeless
feel
people money for subscribes, is that okay? Did we
feel like
talk
we
about
kind of
this
talked
before?
about this when we did the Larry David anonymous donor thing. We kind of tangented. We did a tangent into this area,
Okay, maybe we've
where we
covered
talked
this.
about people doing like charity videos. Yeah, like the ethics of it. So I think we have done this actually.
All right. Never mind, I don't have one then.
Nice try.
Hey, we're over a year in. We're bound to get some repeat.
Oh, there was a last time I checked, there was a 35,000 acre wildfire in North Carolina
Oh shit, we're at.
on the coast somewhere. I think
Eh,
in
doesn't
the
matter. Fuck them.
when did it end? Yeah, they must have it contained by now. But yeah, 35,000 acres. That's pretty fucking big for the East Coast.
What is normal stats for a fire size? Do you have any
On
idea?
the East Coast, a majority of them never make it to more than an acre or so.
Really?
Oh yeah, most of them get put out before they get too big.
Huh.
35,000 acres is fucking massive. Like
How can you? How many miles is that? Any idea?
I don't like how many square miles.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do a
Thirty-five
Google. I not
thousand
off the top of my head,
acres
but
to square miles. 54 miles, square miles.
it's
Damn,
pretty
that is
big.
a lot. Yeah, that's
Yep.
huge. Man, remember that summer at Seuss that we had the wildfires nearby and it was a fucking like hellscape apocalypse
We
of smoke and
couldn't
ash
do
and shit?
anything. Yeah.
Yeah. We were marching groups from campsite to campsite at base camp, which are 30 feet apart.
Ugh,
Dude, it sucked so bad.
it was terrible.
It was terrible. But one group had to be evacuated from active flames. They were like outrunning, licking flames.
Yeah, I was in one of my group. Me and Ross, we fucking called in the wildfire from the Sheehan area.
Maybe it was you
We
guys.
were up at Deer Stand and we saw it and we were like, we should watch see what happens there. And then it kept getting worse. And we're like, yeah, that's definitely a forest fire. And so we called and like they brought a bus out. We drove the bus out on the road. Like you could see the fire in the woods next to the road. It was wild.
Dude, that's
We
insane.
had the bus like way overpacked just because we had to get out.
Dude, that's
Good
so
times,
scary.
good times. Spencer was
Fun
there for
stuff.
that. He was on that bus. His group was out there too.
Must have been a Phoenix group out there all that way.
I think he was in Bravo actually.
Oh, really?
It was
Nice.
season two, the seasons in the Bravo groups. Yeah,
Hell yeah. The good old days. Dude, we'll be going back to Seuss here soon. That's exciting.
definitely. Yeah, I'm excited
Just
to go back. It's gonna be sad, but also I'm
it'll be
glad it's
cool to see
happening.
people.
Oh
It'll
yeah,
be
I'm
cool to see
excited for the
people.
reunion part of it.
Yeah,
I hope
same.
Like I know Seuss is ending, but I hope at some point in the future people would be willing to do some, and I feel like they would because the community is just so great for their like some type of reunion again at some point in the future. Like
We can invite them to Burning Van, dude.
Burning Van, yeah.
Actually, I
Also,
would
like
be down to
we've
do some
talked
like,
about doing like a hike because the course areas that Seuss hikes in, a lot of those
hell yeah.
campsites are gonna just disappear now. So it'd be cool to like
Hmm.
spend a couple nights and days and just like hit as many of them campsites, course areas,
Do like breakfast at a site, lunch at a site,
reminisce.
camp at a
Yeah,
site. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love that.
yeah, dude. Like
Dude,
man, it's actually gonna be kind of interesting to see how much the forest like grows back in a lot of those areas, like because
yeah.
like it's those areas are not used by most of the rest of the public that we were at. Like
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
like the
Dang.
Paris course area, like that hardly ever gets
Nobody goes
used except
there.
for that road, the logging road.
It'll be pretty cool to buy or not buy it, to
Yeah,
visit it
I
unvisited.
yeah, I definitely see myself doing like a solo backpacking trip for a couple nights at some point in my life through our course areas.
Yeah,
I think that'd be fun. Yeah,
that would be sick. Yeah, that'd be fun. Yep, definitely the best days of our lives.
the good old
The
days.
good old days.
You want to do Larry David?
Sure.
I had an interesting idea with that recently. What if we expanded it and not only did do you agree with Larry David, but we could like it'll just become do you agree with, and then we could like it could be anybody or any clip or
Sure.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Expand the
down.
shit out of that. Yeah. Like the
Although
one
I do love Larry David,
oh
so
yeah, Larry David's the king and we
the
will
king
always
of,
go back to
yeah, the
him. Yeah,
goat for
but
sure.
Dennis Reynolds. I thought there would probably be like a do you agree with Dennis Reynolds from Sun It's Always Sunny like,
Surely.
or do you agree with the gang? Let's see. You see that?
Yep.
All right.
Great fun. Come on. How about let's go? How about let's go? Yeah. No. Hey, buddy, what's the deal? What are you talking about? Throw something in my garbage can? It's your garbage in your garbage can. Yeah, that's my garbage can. Oh, I appreciate it if you want to do that. Doesn't garbage belong in a garbage can? Yeah. Aren't you doing... My garbage belongs in my garbage can. Your garbage belongs in your garbage can, okay? Well, what's the difference? The difference? Yeah. It's mine. The can's not full. I don't get it. Next guy I see throwing garbage in there, I'm going to kick his ass.
I'll give that message to the next guy.
You think I'm kidding?
No, I believe you. I'm going to tell the next guy.
Yeah, you do that.
Oh, there you go. Larry threw an apple core in a guy's trash can bin as he was walking down the street, and the guy did not appreciate it. Initial
Okay.
thoughts. Yeah.
So first of all, as a guy who walks his dogs all the time and picks up dog shit and absolutely does not carry the dog shit for the another 3 miles that this walk is going on, I've actually walked up somebody's like driveway a little bit to throw it in the trash can
So
before.
you're not only like this trash can was
Now,
just on their walk. You're going out of your way to
yeah,
be
yeah,
sure
yeah.
to the
Oh
trash
yeah.
cans.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Now, there's houses that I'm thinking of as I say this specifically. Now,
Wow. Is it ever a spiteful thing?
no. And I have
Like, are
thought
you
many
targeting
times.
houses? Yeah.
No, 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 no. No, there's some houses that just have easier access. That like they
Yeah.
keep their trash can closer so I can just snake on over. But I will say I actually hope that people throw their dog shit in my trash cans. If my trash can is out, please throw your dog shit in it. And if you can pack anything else in my trash can, as long as it's not overflowing and flying everywhere, that's the whole purpose, is for our trash to go out. So make that happen. That being said, I'm pretty sure that Larry is like behaving illegally, actually. I think that like
Really?
I don't think you can fuck with somebody else's
Oh,
trash. I think it's
that would
and
make sense.
and I kind of come down on the law like it is your trash can. Your trash is your castle. You know. This is my
Yeah,
trash to defend and protect. Well, because what if Larry like throws acid in there and then a kid plays into it or some
exactly. Or
shit?
like,
Right.
what if somebody puts a bag of some incriminating stuff
Right.
in my trash can? Yeah.
What if
No,
somebody
I
dumps
see
a
what you're saying.
big bag of dildos that are lubed up with all kinds of weird fucking like kind of
Yeah.
lubricants that you get on Amazon and paints and
Yeah.
stuff and like a bunch of kids dolls and shit and it ends up in my trash can. It doesn't
And
mean
then
it's
it gets
fucking
on
my
top of
shit.
all, and then it gets on top of all the illegal things that I have in my trash can and messes it up.
But yeah, I could see
No,
some
that's
like
an interesting point.
liability. And I will say like if somebody threw an apple away, in this particular case, if I were Larry, I would not wise ass off. If the guy was like, "Hey, did you throw an apple away?" I'd say, "Oh yes, I did. I'm so sorry. I apologize. It won't happen again." And then I would just like walk on quickly. And then I would maybe
Yeah.
see if he wants a hand job.
Always with the gay stuff.
You just froze out for
There's
me.
nothing wrong with that, by the way.
You just froze out for me. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Oh yeah. Did I actually?
Yes.
Oh, that's kind of funny. I was like, always with the gay stuff after you said the hand job.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's improv. It's improv, dude. It's just jokes.
Improv. He's like, let me fill in the gaps. Fill in the gaps.
Yeah,
Penis. Penis.
what-
Penis.
yeah. What's on my mind?
Yes,
What's on my
and
mind?
penis. Yes, and penis.
Yeah. Can I throw a rimmer in there?
Um.
Can I throw a rimmer in there?
All right. So.
Yeah. What do
yeah,
you think?
yeah. So my thoughts. I agree with you that like if the guy actually was there and said something about it, that I would be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like, and depending on how messy the trash can was, if he even really wanted me to get it out and was being an asshole, I'd probably just do it. Whatever.
Would you fish it out? Would you actually fish it out?
Well, depending.
What
how
if it's in
messy
the
it was.
bottom?
If it's just
Because
like,
there
yeah,
were
no,
like,
if it's in
listen,
the bottom, I'm not leaning
dude.
into it to get it. But if it's like the full trash can, it's like sitting on top, I'll grab it. Why not? Yes. And then one
Did
thing
you
I
feed
also will
Fudgy?
say, a point that I did not get brought up. He threw an apple into the trash can, and like you were just saying, it could get down into the bottom. And then sometimes stuff like that gets compacted. That's why you put all your shit in
And
bags.
rots.
Yeah, and then so if you're putting just like food scraps in the trash can and they get like compacted and stuck to the bottom, like that guy's trash can might get like really disgusting because of that. So
Dude,
that's
I
a
got
point
maggots.
against not doing. Yeah, you can get maggots. It smells horrible if you have to have your trash can like in your garage. It's so I think that's a point against throwing the apple in, but also philosophically, I think if that was like you walking down the street and I was the guy whose house that was, and I saw you throw an apple in my trash can, I wouldn't give a fuck. I wouldn't say
What?
anything. I would probably just wave at you and go, "Hey, what's up?" And like,
What? What if I was a Nazi?
how would I know that?
What if I was wearing like a shirt that says like I'm a Nazi and then like a swastika? I've got like the skin tattoos. I'm walking around doing the arm thing.
Is that legal in the U.S.? Can you walk around like that in the U.S.? I guess you could, right?
Probably, right?
I don't think you couldn't. I know in Germany you can't. Like,
I sure hope
literally.
you can in my America.
Uh,
What if I'm a Nazi? Well, yeah, what if a Nazi throws a apple?
honestly,
or like
if
a
I saw you like that, I'd probably go. I would honestly be like a little concerned for my safety, and I'd probably go inside
really?
and just not really fuck with you. Yeah, especially if I'm alone.
Interesting.
Yeah, nah. If you're out in public wearing Nazi stuff, you're clearly an irrational individual that I'm not really interested in any.
You're
kind
not
of
trying to hang out
confrontation
with?
you. Yeah, like
What
that
if-
doesn't make me feel inferior to not. Like
What-
if you're on my front lawn, like protesting the kind Nazi speak, then maybe I'll go out and say something. But if you're just throwing an apple in my trash can dressed as a Nazi, I'm probably just
okay.
gonna let it go.
What if a Nazi throws a
It's
whole
weird
trash
how we got
bag?
to this point of the conversation.
Well, look, it's either me giving a rim job or Nazis. What do you
Yeah,
want?
it's penises and Nazis. This is really
Or
like
fucking
eighth
animals. I can
grade. This is
also
like middle school edgelord humor here.
we can also hit up fucking it. All right, fine, fine. We'll brow it up a little bit.
But
What if?
yeah, like I think what I was saying before we went off on that weird tangent. If I owned the house and you were walking down the street and threw the apple in, I wouldn't say anything. I think I would, I'd probably just say, "Hey, what's up?" I would even maybe initiate a conversation and be nice. I wouldn't care at all. And I feel like you would do the same if it was your house.
I actually love the idea of a guy initiating a conversation and the other guy being like, "I don't want to talk with you. I just threw the apple away," and then feeling bound to converse because
Because he threw the apple in there
because
and
he
he
threw
feels
the apple.
guilty about it. Yeah.
Dude, like maybe the guy. Oh, this might be a sketch, dude. Oh, you threw your apple away, so I thought you might want to chat. Or no, it's okay. Go ahead. And then the guy's like, "No, how's your day, man?"
Get a room, you two.
Okay, sorry,
room,
I've got a
you
sketch
two.
idea. I just got a sketch idea, I think.
All right. So yeah, that's what I would say. I would be concerned about because it's an apple. I think that's a point against Larry because like if it gets into the bottom, make it gross. That's not fair to the homeowner to clean up
Right.
that mess later.
Mhm.
Legally, I think you're right. You don't think you're supposed to be throwing your trash in other people's trash cans. And
Well, or
but like
stealing.
morally and philosophically, I agree with Larry. Like, who cares? Uh,
But what do you think is
so
right? Do you agree with the law, or do you think that it's okay to just throw trash in? Like, say you had to pick
well, okay. Are
one
we
point of
arguing? Do
view.
you agree with throwing any kind of trash, or are we just saying, do I agree with Larry in that situation that throwing an apple in someone's trash can is not a big deal?
Let's do Larry and then do the other. How about?
Okay, Larry. I personally don't care. I think that's fine.
Totally agree.
I agree with Larry in that
Totally
exact
agree.
situation. I agree. I think the
Bing.
homeowner's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, say
In
you have to
the
pick a stance, you have to pick a hill to die on. Can you throw things in your neighbor's trash or no? And like
I would
anything,
want the
any
law
instance.
protecting me, honestly. Like, yeah. No, in
Whew.
any instance, I would want the law to protect me. I guess if it's like the scenario that they were in, where you're actually in the yard watching somebody throw stuff in the can, I don't necessarily. I think I'd be fine with that because I feel like I can't think of a reason that or a time when somebody would be that stupid to, while I'm
Somebody
in my
just
front yard, to
puts
throw
a
stuff in
shit.
my trash can. Yeah, well, like you know what I mean. But in general of like throwing stuff in there, if without my observation, like yeah,
Yeah.
I'm against that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I might the hippie in my the hippie in my heart might win. I might have to say, oh,
Earth is our
cuz
trash can, man. Who cares? Just throw it
exactly,
everywhere.
exactly. Just fucking pitch it on the ground, dude. It doesn't fucking matter. No, I might honestly come down on throw trash where trash is supposed to go. I think I can generally trust
I say
people
that's
more
actually an
than
argument,
not.
yeah, that didn't get brought up. Just like the sake of the trash going into the right place and going to the right place.
Most people will throw
Versus like,
trash away.
yeah, like right, like if I offer up my trash can on the street to a person walking by, they're less likely to maybe drop that piece of trash
Like maybe it's
on the
better to
ground
have
and
my
then it
trash
becomes
can
litter.
out.
Yeah.
Right. Because if they see my trash can out, if I ever see a trash can in sight, I'm like, oh, hold on, I got to go to the trash can.
Wow.
I
Are
got
we
to throw
talking
this away.
ourselves into putting out community trash cans in our the
Dude,
front
this
of our
is dope.
house?
When we get the compound, everybody has to have a trash can out front. It's mandatory.
And you can't throw your trash in your trash can.
Your
It has
trash.
to be at least two other people's trash cans.
Yeah. Yep. And then you have to move trash from somebody else's trash can into your trash can to make sure that it's all equally divided. Yeah. It's going to be sick.
Yeah. Clearly, we agree on these points. So,
Yeah. But it's in the Constitution easily.
um,
Dude, that was a tight
but
20 on trash. We're
but
fucking killing it.
All right, we both agree with Larry though.
Yeah, I agree
We
with
both agree
Larry.
with Larry in that scenario. I said I do not agree with just throwing trash at willy nilly in other people's cans.
Yeah, you side
Just
with the
because.
law. I'm breaking the law.
So you're okay. You're like throw it on me, baby.
Give me the battery acid.
Yeah.
Throw
Dump
throw a
trash on my chest.
throw a 3-year-old in my trash.
Maybe that's the next. That's the evolution of this. It's not a community trash can in your front yard. It's you sitting in your front yard with a sign on saying "Throw your trash at me."
Yeah. How did we get here?
It's just like the hippie
Just walk me
evolution
there
of
real
like
quick.
you got to get in tune with the trash, like
Okay.
spiritually. This is the only
Okay.
way that this
I
could
am
happen.
being the
Yeah.
trash. Yes, I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
I am the trash. We are all the trash. The trash is me. You are me. We are the trash. I get you.
Trash.
It's all
Yes.
it's all trash, man. Humanity's trash. It's all trash.
So I honestly the only sticking point to not agreeing with Larry is the fact that it's an apple and that it might make the guy's can gross. But
Well, the other thing I will say is you can just eat the whole apple. If you're not eating the whole apple, you're a fucking
that's true.
lunatic.
There's a waste argument to be made here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will say. And I get the argument for like, well,
Does
he's
this
Larry
sway
David.
you?
He's
Agreed
proper.
with Larry. Does that sway you to not agreeing with Larry, actually?
It it makes me disappointed but unsurprised in Larry. I of course Larry would not. He probably throws away most of the apple, if we're being honest. I wouldn't be surprised if Larry David throws away half the apple. If he takes one, two
Really?
bites, maybe three,
Yeah, I'm gonna argue
a nice
actually
big third.
against that.
Can we play
He
the
is
scene?
not a
Can we see
wasteful
the footage?
person.
Can we see the
He's
footage?
not. That's true. We can see the footage
Cheryl,
and see how much
Cheryl,
of
can
the
we play the
apple.
footage back, please?
I'm gonna
Cheryl,
laugh
can
when
we
it.
get the footage?
I'm gonna laugh when it wasn't even an apple and it was just
It's
like
like an orange.
or like something completely different.
Yeah.
Your mother's panties.
Larry David would have those.
Yeah. Oh,
What do we see?
all right.
What do we see?
I will say I just got a sneak at the very beginning of the clip, and there's a lot of apple.
There's a lot of apple, I'm
There's a lot
telling
of
you.
apple.
There's a good bit of apple. Oh, look at that. That's a third bite right there. Look at
How
that.
about that, Joe?
Look at that. Look at that. Oh, is there red? Can we get a freeze frame?
Oh my
Can
god!
we get a
Hold
freeze
on.
frame?
Rewind. Yeah, let me.
Can we get it right before
There-
it goes in? All right. He ate the whole round. He ate around it. I'll give him that.
You know?
Yeah, he definitely
That
left the
last
top and
frame.
the bottom.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a lot of apple to be thrown.
It's a
there.
lot of
I will
apple.
say, I still think I agree with Larry, but I was a lot closer to not agreeing with him. Seeing that much apple getting thrown in the trash can. Wow, that was a good point that you brought up.
Thank you. Thank you. And you
Wow,
can
and
eat the
honestly,
seeds. The seeds are made to be eaten. You shit
I'm
them out. That's what
surprised.
you do.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he would waste that much of an apple. Larry is not seem
I'm
like
not.
the kind of guy that would waste something like that.
He's
know?
rich. He's rich. The rich
He's
have no
frugal.
need for
He's
apple.
Rich, he's rich and he's frugal. Like frugal people are not wasteful.
This would be a fun academic paper to examine the ways in which Larry is or isn't frugal. Because he definitely buys nice meals. He picks up checks sometimes, but then he argues
yeah.
about it. But he'll pick up a $700 check and then argue over $20 on it. You know?
Yeah, it is interesting the times that he chooses to bring up problems with money
Right.
over the tiniest things.
Yep. Everybody's got to
Uh,
die on some hill, right?
Yeah, Larry will die on many hills.
That's true. That's true.
All right. Well, that was pretty good. I thought that was a good one. I actually didn't think that one would be as good as it turned out to be.
It was quite short.
You think?
We got,
think
it's,
that was like
the
20
whole video is like
That
a
was like
minute,
15
right?
minutes. Oh, the video itself.
The
was like a
video
minute,
itself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We
yeah, yeah.
talked for like 15 minutes though.
No,
I
I'm
think.
saying I even did a joke about us doing a tight 20 on it.
Yeah. We talked about
10 minutes
the
ago.
actual clip. We talked about penises. We talked about Nazis, dude. We covered everything in that segment.
All the things I love to talk about, dude. We're killing it. Our podcast is fucking number one on the charts.
Ugh. All
Although,
right, let's try to fill this like to at least 10 more minutes.
I don't want to. Let's just sit quietly.
We
Do
could
you have
play
something,
the
or
quiet game. We could play the quiet game, I guess.
dude, that would be the coolest podcast
Go.
segment ever.
You lost. You already lost.
I just don't talk anymore at all. All right, do you want to do
That
something,
reminds me
or
of my idea. I really want to communicate through soundboard clips some episode only.
okay? But you got to build out a better soundboard, dude.
Oh yeah, I need a lot more stuff. Yeah,
A
for
lot
sure.
more.
This would take a lot of like work before the episode for me to like find different ways to communicate, because I would put a genuine effort into this. Like
Oh yeah.
I would try to find some phrase for every type of scenario that I could communicate the way I feel about it.
I would put a genuine effort into this. The only button he shows up with is dicks, 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 dicks.
Yeah, you
Hey,
like
Walker,
that, wouldn't
dicks.
you, Scout?
Yeah, that's what I would go for.
Yeah, you would like that.
Walker's like sports bets, sports bets, sports bets, sports bets. All right. What do you got on your list there?
I'm looking through it. Some of it we've already talked about, so.
Oh,
Yeah,
you don't
boy.
delete them? You ever hear of the
Nah.
Voynich manuscript?
I think so.
It's like this weird book that is
Yeah, it's like a bunch of symbols
probably
and
a
stuff.
hoax. Yeah. You want
But,
to
like,
talk about
people
that?
think- Sure. Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Let me share my screen.
So what's it called?
The Voynich manuscript.
Okay.
Here, can you see what I'm sharing?
Yeah, and where is it from? Exactly. Or what do you know
Europe.
about
It was discovered in a bookstore after World War One. Okay, the manuscript is named after Wilfrid Voynich, a Polish-Lithuanian book dealer who purchased it in 1912. And
I've actually
so,
seen
let's
somebody
pull some
have this as
images.
like a coffee table book at their house.
I would actually love that. That seems really cool, honestly.
Yeah,
So
it
it's
was an
this.
interesting read through, thing to look through.
God damn it! That's the Wikipedia page.
But it's like a made up language. It's like made up creatures
Right.
and symbols and all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah, so it's a bunch of like fictional plants, animals, and illustrations, and then a language that seems made up, but
Yeah, has anybody ever
also
deciphered it? Any of it?
no. So in cryptography and in solving languages, there's like some techniques that you can use to track common letters or sounds. Like the sound and like E in the English language is present in a lot of shit. And so if you can just look for frequent letters and predict them next to other predictable groupings, if that makes sense, you can say like, hey, this letter is probably E. And when you do that kind of analysis on the Voynich manuscript, it changes from page to page somewhat. And so a lot of modern cryptographers look at it as probably a hoax. Like probably somebody
That's
just
what I would lean towards.
right.
If nobody's been able to figure out any of it at this point, like,
Yeah.
or some dude just like did a bunch of drugs and came up with this crazy imaginary thing.
But so okay, so here's some weird stuff. The results of radiocarbon dating at the University of Arizona in 2009 were consistent for samples tested and indicated a date of parchment between 1404 and 1438.
Okay.
It revealed
Where
that it
this
was like
discovered?
in 1912 it was purchased by that book dealer.
They don't know from where though.
I
So they don't know who the author is, I guess.
I I don't know. Here,
Huh.
history. Much of the early history of the book is unknown, though the text and illustrations are European. The first confirmed owner was Jorg Barish, a 17th century alchemist from Prague. Barish was apparently puzzled about this sphinx that had been taking up space uselessly in his library for many years. He learned that Jesuit scholar Athanasius Kircher from the Collegio Romano had published a Coptic dictionary and claimed to have deciphered Egyptian hieroglyphs. Barish twice sent a sample copy of the script to Kircher in Rome asking for clues. The 1639 letter from Barish to Kircher is the earliest known mention of the manuscript to have been confirmed. So 1639 this thing appeared, at least.
Huh.
Well,
And
shit.
where in Europe is where it was first kind of like traced to, or
Yeah, Jorg Barish
is the
was
first
in Prague.
owner?
So Prague, yeah.
Okay.
So it shows up in Prague in
But he didn't
1639.
write it. He just had it.
Yeah, he was just like a book collector.
Huh.
So then it goes through a bunch of other people, mostly Kircher, until
But it's like it's a pretty long book and stuff, isn't it? So it's like part of the argument
Yes.
would be like, if it's all nonsense, why would they
why would they write a
make
whole
such
book?
why would they make such a long thing? Yeah.
There's 240 out of 272 pages found. So they have like it's almost a 300-page book.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's almost as long as that book that you suggested that everybody hated.
That ruined the book club.
Yes, dude. I'm so
Yeah,
glad
we
that
need,
somebody else ruined book club. It makes me happy that I wasn't the only one to kill book club.
Yeah. Ultimately I blame myself. I shouldn't have consulted Reddit. That was a
Yeah.
mistake.
Dude, I'll tell you what, sometimes you just pick a bad book, you gotta move on. It happens,
Yeah.
okay?
I should have picked something that I personally would have been interested to read. It probably would have been better.
I will say, having gotten through
Asking
the
the
book,
book subreddits, it's a bunch of nerds who read way too many books and they get like some obscure things that they like.
as a nerd who reads too many books and likes obscure things that nobody likes, I will say, having gotten through the whole book, I do like it. I am
Oh, yeah?
not salty that I read it. Some books I'm like, this fucking sucked. I wish I had my time back.
Yeah, I should finish it.
I wouldn't read it again, but if I hadn't finished it, I'd be like, yeah, finish it. It's worth it. It's cool to the end. There's some twists and stuff. It's fun.
Well, yeah, we should arrange whoever did read that to talk soon, or who wants to, and then just move on to the next book, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I would like to keep that going. Like,
I would too. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Anyway, sorry. I couldn't let that one go. To anybody who didn't get the joke, which is literally everybody outside of our small book club, Walker picked a recent book that most people struggled to finish, and so the book club is struggling. But also, the last time this happened, I picked a book that nobody finished, including myself, and the book club actually died. So
it was the first book we tried to do when we first created the book club.
I thought we did Project Hail Mary before that. Or was that really
No,
the first
that was what revived the book club.
Oh,
Somebody,
okay.
I think Ben was like, "I'm
Ben.
gonna read this," and I was like, "Oh, I also want to read that." And so I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, let's tell everyone," and then everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
Which we never actually talked about that, so maybe we could talk about
Do
that
an episode on that.
one and do
Get Chris on here.
yeah. But anyways, the Voyage manuscript.
The Voynich manuscript.
Does it say anything about having not any of it being deciphered or
No. No.
So oh wow. Yeah, I mean
So we can talk about
and
statistical
something
patterns.
this famous people have like a lot of smart people will have
A
tried at this
lot
point,
of
so
smart people.
That
Yes.
leads me to believe that it's just gibberish or like
That's what I come down on. It's just one of the most
some
elaborate and
drug-riddled
brilliant
mind
fakes.
created it or something. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so. I think it was like I think you had to have a separate notebook
You
that
think it
like
was a
planned
troll?
out.
Is this arguably one of the earliest trolls in human history?
I would compare this more to what Tolkien did in like Lord of the Rings. I think this is like the
So you
first
say
Lord of
it's
the Rings.
brilliant.
Yeah, oh yeah. I would say that somebody came up with a whole fucking system of bullshit that this thing
It
was.
reads almost like or it appears to be kind of like an encyclopedia, right? Or like
Right.
a
But for like
something
made
like
up
that.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is fucking fantastical beasts and where to find them or whatever the hell it is.
It might also just been somebody with some insane mental disorder that was capable
Yeah?
of like putting it down on paper like that,
Yeah?
And that
Yeah.
was just how they experienced their life.
Absolutely.
It's an interesting is there any theories section on here of like there's got to be some theories about what people think, right?
Oh, let me show you some theories.
Do you personally know of any or have any? I guess the one we said we believe is that it's probably just nonsense.
I mean, that's the one that I'm most familiar with.
So you think it was intentionally made to be nonsense? Is what you would lean towards?
Yeah, I guess so. I would say it was probably more like somebody doodling, kind of. Not doodling,
That's what
like
it seems
imagine
like.
imagine if like a
It's like a diary of
really
your
autistic kid doodled.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like got really into it.
Are there like but the characters like match throughout the book and stuff, right? Like
So like I said,
or is
on
it
the
from page to
surface,
page? Is it like totally different? Like
so no, there's like themes and stuff that goes throughout the whole manuscript, but from page to page certain styles change. It's like
mm,
it's like on this day the
perhaps
writer was
multiple
looking like
authors.
this. Eh, not it
Perhaps
doesn't
one
change.
author multiple people transmitting through one author or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's possibly
Just
more
trying to think of
accurate.
all the
So
possibilities.
so it's kind of like so you have the same language system where the letters mean the same things, but all of a sudden each day different words appear with different frequencies of those letters. So you have an X one day that like appears one time in the text, and then the day after that it appears like 8 times in the text. And you're like, "Whoa, what the fuck? If this is X based on these 8 days before, why is it all of a sudden appearing this many times?" Does that make sense?
Yeah, it
It's like,
does.
yeah, it's like the writer sat up and picked, hey, today I'm going to use these letters because they look good together,
Right.
versus, hey, this is the frequency of this grammatical structure in a coded language.
Yeah. So what is this a some theories you got here?
Uh, sorry, I closed the theories. They weren't
Is there
very
any if
good.
there isn't any interesting ones then
Well, I'm going to tell you the most interesting one right now is
yeah,
aliens.
tell me.
It's
Aliens.
aliens.
Of
Yeah, it's
course, yeah.
fucking aliens. Yeah,
Ah, if it can't be explained, it's aliens.
yeah. These guys, what do these say? Aliens. Look, stars,
Ah,
aliens.
it's indisputable.
Indisputably aliens.
Huh.
Honestly, most people it sounds like say it's a hoax.
I mean, if they haven't figured stuff out by now, I would think so.
And
At
like I
least
feel like
something. Like it feels like they haven't figured out anything, which it's like, all right.
right, right. But
But
that's all I
I
got
guess you
on it.
could argue maybe it's just such a complicated thing that you can't understand it.
Yeah, we'll never know. It must be aliens. But anyways, I think that would be a very cool coffee table thing to have.
It
That's
would.
a
Yeah.
it's an interesting. Yeah, I don't know. How much is a copy of the Voynich manuscript? How much do you think it is, Walker?
$50, I don't know. Or less.
Oh shit, my internet's broken. $40. But it's listed at 50. 50, but I can
Oh.
get it for the low price of 38.99.
Nice. Well,
Anyways,
hell
that's the
yeah. That was
Voynich
a
manuscript.
yeah, that was an interesting topic, which I had heard about before but didn't think about. And it's
Yeah,
been years since I had even thought about that.
it's neat. I've always thought it was interesting. I would buy one for my coffee table.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, I think We've been going for about hour 5 now.
Ooh la la. That'll do her.
Quality episode. Your standard fill of penis and Nazi jokes as usual from Scott.
Here I am. And some gay jokes. And some gay jokes.
Oh yeah.
I'm all about projecting, baby.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Bye.